Global supply chains are a crucial factor in determining the prices of goods in the United States, as they connect the US market to production and distribution networks around the world. The cost of products sold in the US is often influenced by a range of international factors, including the availability of raw materials, labor costs, transportation fees, and trade policies. Fluctuations in any part of the global supply chain, such as changes in shipping rates, raw material shortages, or shifts in currency exchange rates, can have a direct impact on consumer prices in the US. These interconnected systems highlight how global events, from trade wars to pandemics, can ripple through the supply chain and lead to price changes, illustrating the vulnerability and complexity of the US economy in an increasingly interconnected world. Number 7. Cost of raw materials and manufacturing. The dynamics of supply and demand significantly influence the prices of raw materials globally. When a major exporter faces a disruption, such as a natural disaster, geopolitical tension, or labor strikes, the availability of raw materials decreases, driving up prices. This results in higher manufacturing costs for goods produced using these materials, which then translates to higher consumer prices in the US. Similarly, labor costs are a critical factor in global production. Many goods sold in the US are manufactured in countries where wages are lower, helping to keep production costs and, consequently, consumer prices down. However, if labor costs in these countries rise due to factors like increased wages, better labor rights protections, or inflation, the cost of manufacturing also increases. In some cases, businesses may relocate production to other regions with lower labor costs, but this can also lead to higher costs, depending on the region's economic situation. Ultimately, these fluctuations in raw material availability and labor costs are passed through the global supply chain and impact the prices US consumers pay for goods. Number 6. Shipping and logistics costs. Shipping rates and supply chain disruptions have a significant impact on the prices US consumers pay for goods. The cost of transporting goods internationally, such as container shipping, directly influences the final price of products. During the COVID-19 pandemic, for example, container shipping rates skyrocketed due to a combination of port congestion, labor shortages, and high demand for goods. These elevated shipping costs were passed on to consumers, leading to price increases for a wide range of products, from electronics to household goods. In addition, events like natural disasters, port closures, or strikes can disrupt the flow of goods by delaying shipments, leading to bottlenecks in the supply chain. When goods are delayed or scarce, businesses may raise prices due to increased costs or the need to secure limited stock. These disruptions also create uncertainty, prompting companies to build up inventories or shift to more expensive transportation methods, which can further push prices higher. As a result, both rising shipping costs and disruptions in the supply chain contribute to inflationary pressures, ultimately raising the prices US consumers face in the marketplace. Number 5. Exchange rate fluctuations. Currency exchange rates have a direct impact on the cost of importing goods, which in turn affects consumer prices in the US. When the US dollar weakens relative to other currencies, the cost of importing goods from other countries increases. This is because US buyers need more dollars to purchase the same amount of foreign goods. For example, if the dollar weakens against the euro, products from the European Union become more expensive for US consumers. Businesses that rely on imported materials or finished goods may face higher costs, and these costs are often passed on to consumers in the form of higher prices. On the other hand, when the US dollar is strong compared to other currencies, it can make imports cheaper. A stronger dollar means that US buyers need fewer dollars to purchase goods from abroad, which helps lower the cost of imported products. For example, if the dollar strengthens against the Japanese yen, cars or electronics from Japan become less expensive for US consumers. A strong dollar can also help lower the cost of raw materials, energy, and other imported components used in manufacturing, which can help keep overall production costs lower, leading to lower consumer prices. Therefore, fluctuations in currency exchange rates play a significant role in determining the prices US consumers pay for imported goods. Number 4. Trade policies and tariffs. Tariffs and trade agreements play significant roles in shaping the prices of goods in the US. When the US imposes tariffs on imported goods, such as during the US-China trade war, the cost of these goods increases as companies pass on the additional expense to consumers. Tariffs are essentially taxes on imports, making foreign-made products more expensive. This leads to higher prices for a range of goods, from electronics to clothing, as businesses seek to cover the extra costs imposed by tariffs. Consumers ultimately bear the brunt of these higher prices, as domestic production may not be able to replace the imported goods at the same scale or cost. Conversely, trade agreements that reduce or eliminate tariffs can help keep prices stable or even lower them. Agreements such as the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, aim to facilitate smoother supply chains by reducing trade barriers, lowering tariffs, and promoting more efficient cross-border trade. With fewer barriers to trade, goods can flow more easily and at lower costs, reducing the price of imported products. Trade agreements also encourage foreign investment and promote competition, which can further lead to more affordable prices for US consumers. By minimizing the costs associated with international trade, these agreements provide a more stable and predictable environment for both producers and consumers, benefiting the overall economy. Number 3. Technological advancements and efficiency gains. Advancements in technology, logistics, and data tracking have the potential to significantly enhance the efficiency of global supply chains, ultimately lowering costs and reducing consumer prices. In the US, automation in factories, for instance, allows companies to increase production speed and consistency while reducing reliance on manual labor, which can lower labor costs and minimize human error. Additionally, innovations in robotics and artificial intelligence can improve precision in manufacturing, leading to less waste and higher output. In supply chain management, the use of advanced tracking systems and real-time data analytics helps companies better predict demand, optimize inventory levels, and streamline distribution networks. This reduces the need for excess stock and mitigates costly disruptions, such as delays or overstocking. Furthermore, improvements in transportation logistics, such as more efficient routing, fuel-efficient vehicles, or advanced shipping technologies, help lower the cost of moving goods across borders. By making these processes more efficient, businesses can pass on the savings to consumers, keeping prices lower for everyday goods. As technology continues to evolve, these improvements in the supply chain are likely to further drive down production costs, benefiting US consumers with lower prices. Number 2. Market shocks and global events. Pandemics, such as COVID-19, revealed the vulnerability of US prices to global supply chains. The pandemic caused widespread disruptions, including factory shutdowns, transportation bottlenecks, and labor shortages, all of which hindered the production and delivery of key components like semiconductor chips. These shortages led to significant price increases for electronics, vehicles, and other goods that rely on these essential parts. The reduced availability of such components also caused delays in production, further pushing up costs for consumers in the US. Similarly, geopolitical tensions can severely disrupt global supply chains, leading to shortages and rising prices. For example, the Russia-Ukraine war created major disruptions in global energy markets, causing oil and natural gas prices to soar. Additionally, Ukraine is a major exporter of grain, and the conflict led to a spike in global food prices, which directly impacted US consumers. These geopolitical crises can create uncertainty, leading to higher input costs, reduced availability of goods, and inflationary pressures that are passed on to US consumers. Both pandemics and geopolitical tensions highlight how interconnected global supply chains are and how disruptions in one region can have far-reaching effects on prices and availability of goods worldwide. Number 1. Environmental and social compliance costs. Companies that rely on global supply chains are required to make investments in order to ensure compliance with the new requirements that are being implemented by nations who are implementing harsher environmental and labor restrictions. By way of illustration, in order for businesses to comply with labor regulations, they can be required to implement more environmentally friendly production methods, modernize their facilities to meet environmental standards, or pay higher wages and improve working conditions. The implementation of these changes frequently necessitates substantial investments in new technology, procedures, or training, which can lead to a rise in operational expenses. Furthermore, if a company is obtaining its materials or labor from countries that have stricter laws, the cost of meeting those standards may be higher than it would be in nations that have regulations that are less harsh. It is common practice to pass on these additional expenses to customers in the form of higher prices for the products and services that they purchase. Thanks for watching and subscribing channel.